Next guy that comes out of the bathroom. If
No.
he's wearing glasses,
No.
we stay. If he's wearing
No.
glasses, just.
You're on.
Yes!
Despite the assumed unintentional lack of direction, Mississippi Grind is an enjoyable road trip through the highs and lows of winning and losing, both figuratively and literally. Drenched in an enticingly atmospheric South American backdrop, Mississippi Grind has a very relaxed and casual cinematic tone that leisurely drifts you into its story. The mood is brilliantly set as we go from dimly lit bars to flashy casinos to the breezy nights of various US states, including Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, and of course, Mississippi. You can tell by now I'm not American, so the intimacy is probably best for those familiar with this setting. But Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck wonderfully capture the mood and authenticity that make just watching the film ever more pleasing. I genuinely love just absorbing in the frequent montages, and if a film can blend both music and cinematography into something attentive, it already makes for an enjoyable film about two very different men on a journey to hit up casinos along the Mississippi River. The story plays less of a role as the film focuses much more on the relationship between Ben Mendelsohn and Ryan Reynolds, who both give fantastic, sympathetic and relatable performances. Both characters maintain a different philosophy of luck, and how they interact with each other and conflict and converse over how life should be makes for an interesting film, even if at times some of the scenes are much less enjoyable than others. The film slows down when they stop somewhere for too long, and at times impatience starts to settle in, but when they're on the move and they find themselves surrounded by oddities, the film is at its strongest. Gambling takes a back seat for much of the film, but when they do risk all that they have, it makes for some really tense and even terrifying moments. Ben Mendelsohn's Jerry is a down-on-his-luck gambler in debt to many people, and his relationship with the happy-go-lucky Curtis, played by Reynolds, brings out the lighter side to a very difficult situation. For a film that relies on heavy dialogue to drive the experience forward, it's very well handled and there's a genuineness to how they talk and respond. It's not weighed down by potentially pretentious lines or quotes, and it almost feels improvised, which makes for something that feels a lot more spontaneous than you might expect. It's a very explorative film in its own right, and its themes and attitude feel fresh and fun, with a very dry sense of humour. There's a constant metaphor of chasing a rainbow, which almost feels like it's grasping magical realism. Or maybe it's just realism in the sense that it's just luck. In all, Mississippi Grind is a fresh take on life, by focusing on the overlooked notion of luck. Fortune isn't exactly common amongst the pair, but there is a real thrill and adrenaline to risking it all to see what happens, probably much to the same effect of the gambler mentality. It's non-judgmental in its approach, and doesn't scorn on addiction or making silly life choices, which thankfully show that there are still plenty of dramas out there that aim to present a more touching and positive side to life's biggest struggles.